Yo, what's up people, it's your boy P, also known as Captain P67. We're here today for my Lich Erasion Zealots build. As you could see from the previous clips, what I've included is some of the bosses getting absolutely melted. I've done some in a solo as well as a duo with my community members. I also included a map clear on a fully T16, fully maxed out juiced Abyssal map, just to kind of show you the play style. On that one in particular, I wanted to kind of include how you could play the build. You don't always have to go crazy with the build or blast with it, but you can literally just take your time. Sometimes you don't have to press buttons with the build as well. So I made the build in a week, under 150 divines. With some of the economy changing, some of the prices may have gone up, but I did just check some of the items have actually gone down as well. So without further ado, let's get into the build, and mobilitics will be fully included in links in the description below as well. So if you haven't really got the time to check out the video, you can always just go straight to the mobilitics and check out the build from there. And then I've also added a few descriptions in there just to maybe help you out as well. But let's get into it. So first and foremost, we're going to be going over the gear of the build. So I'll try and make this as quick as I can and concise, just to kind of get to the point, and then you can kind of see what we're working with. Now, first and foremost, in regards to the gear, this is I wouldn't say like super endgame item, but it's kind of mid-tier, and I originally picked this up for 17 divines. This was bought a good few days ago though, and I spoke to a guy who's offering it for 25, he'd give him for 17. I kind of built around there. However, before I did all that, on the very first day of making the build, I literally made this build in a week, in 7 days, and I was new to Lich, so I was kind of just still learning the ins and outs of it. I did originally start with a +3 to minions. So in regards to the gear, what I'll show you, this one you could start off with something like +3, and then gradually build up as you go, then obviously get a +4, and then a higher one you want to get. But I try to make this under 150 divines. Every season I'll make a build around 100 divines. So it's more viable for all types of players. But we did go slightly over budget with some of the prices changing. But in regards to the gear, like I said, with the Skepta, you want to get +4 would be ideal. But if you're going to start with a +3, you can work your way up from there. So that's kind of the best thing to do. Now, in regards to the helmet, the main things you do want to get is plus to minion skills. And I pretty much did the same thing. I just got whatever I had when I was going through the campaign. Then as I progressed, I bought a cheap one for +1, then I got a +2, and then gradually I started building up like energy shield, which can obviously give you more survivability. And I'll go through all the whole total stats towards the end of the video as well. But we are giga tanky on top of the build itself, as well as it being safe because it's more of a minion style of build. But yeah, +2 to minions would be ideal, and then build around that, and then add new resistances as you go forward. In regards to the amulets, you ideally do want to get +3 to minions on the later stage. Early throughout the game though, or early through the league, I did end up getting one of these, like overall quite cheap, and I got additional spirit. Now with this one, I try and aim for probably 40 plus spirit on any amulet. So if you can get +3 to minions, +40 to spirit, the more spirit you get the better, and the rest is just stuff you're gonna add for more end game, especially increase the rarity. This build does have a lot of increased rarity, and with the footage I showed you, I am getting a lot of drops overall. So on average, sometimes I can get, in one map I can get like 21 divines, 28 divines. In the Abyssal footage I showed you, the item I got there was 17 divines at the start of the map within 30 seconds, and then we've done the rest of the map and we got more loot as well. So yeah, as far as rarity goes, you can add that in there, but it's not essential to start off with. So main thing is just get your minion skills and make sure you get your spirit included as well. In regards to the offhand, originally I kept some items just to show you some options. So I actually started off with this, and I did get this in the campaign itself, so I was using this. So minions have more life, mana regen, which is kind of ideal, and I'll explain all that for you as well. And the minions did increase damage. From me moving forward with that originally from the campaign, when I got more to endgame, I wanted more survivability and more spirit to test more things out. Because like I said, I'm new to the Lich. Well, within 7 days I kind of put this together, being new to it. So I just wanted to experiment and test everything out as best as I could. So with this one you can get more spirit. So if you're lacking with spirit, you can use this. And this is for level 65. And finally, going off the actual focus of what we got right now, you do want +2 to level to minion skills. So ideally you want +2 to level to minion skills. Any energy shield would be beneficial for you. Mana regen would be great as well, and again I'll explain all that why you need that as well. Now in regards to body armor, this is pretty free, open how you want to build it. If you want to get super tanky, again I just added what I added at the time to keep it under 150 divines, but I can believe you can get energy shield up to 1000. So when you're first getting into it, you can actually use this. So it's another item I've added. This is only at level 30, and you can get 100 spirit. The two main things you want to get off here is 61 spirit is somewhat min-max of what you can get off base, but then you can get slightly more with higher quality and other things. But 61 spirit is the base overall. But if you're just leveling the build, or you just want to try and experiment with a few spirits, or higher spirit amount, you can just use this first as well, which I used ideally. So all these are what I use to like level up the build, but I do find this is the most predominantly best in slot for the way we got the build right now, for all the content we do, and we're doing it comfortably, and I can just walk through T15s without even pressing a single button, as well as killing bosses. Now in regards to the ring, Venter's Gamble Gold Ring is probably best in slot overall. Everything kind of applies to us. The more life the better, the more spirit the better. Increased rarity means we get more drops, and I will probably be following up with this build because I'm having so much fun with it. And because I kept to the budget for now, I do have like 100 something spare divines available, and every day I'm blasting. I'm live on Twitch every day, so if you ever want to join, if you need currency or you want to just join for fun, you're more than welcome. But yeah, just like I said, on average map I might get like, I don't know, I'm always getting a few divines per map, and then some I can get 21, 28, and even just from a few maps. We're getting a lot of fragments as well from super juiced maps, so we beat the pinnacle bosses, citadels, and I'm making like 20, 30 divines per map run there as well. So with this, best in slot is Venter's Gamble Gold Ring, so all your resistances you want fully capped, and we have got all that, and I'll explain that for you as well. And the spirit obviously is beneficial for you as well. Now the other ring, if you're trying to struggle for resistances, you can use any ring you want. I found this kind of early same, and I needed more lightning resistance, so I went for a Vortex Loop Topaz, because you get lightning off the implicit plus extra lightning as well. But I've also included a lot of rarity, so I wanted to get as much rarity as I could just to test it out and hit the over 100 mark, which we did the build as well, which is pretty awesome. So any ring you could use. You could also use another Venter's ring if you wish, or if you got an opposite ring, you could put that in to mirror that as well. Mirror Calandra, I believe. And for gloves, you want to get as much life and resistances as much as you can, as well as energy shield. Again, this is probably early game gloves. I haven't really changed this just to keep within the budget, but you can get higher amounts. And the more energy shield, the more tankiness you are. We have over 12,000, so we're very, very tanky, very comfortable, but you can use whatever you want just to make sure it covers for you. Now, I've also included an item here, and all the footage that was shown to you was using this belt, which is another belt I picked up super early in the league. Like, picked it up, got great rolls in it, kept it. So you can upgrade this as much as you want. However, you could, if you already have, like, say, currency, you want to go for more higher end, you can put this in, and when you do put this in, this will increase your rarity, since it does increase the bonuses from these two. So you'll get higher bonuses for your rarity, higher drops. I have tested it, it does make a difference. You are getting a lot more like raw drops, whether it's Chaos Orbs, Divines, better drops overall. So the higher the rarity, the better, and probably some of you know 150% is the cap, as there was some previous content creators who tested it. So the closer you can get to 150, the better. And obviously with this you can, and obviously if you want to spend more, you can get a higher version of this to increase everything. This will also increase the life, and a little tidbit as well. Our damage doesn't just come from our minions, it's a hybrid. So we do a lot of damage, they do damage. So if you have a chaos damage, it's even better, because we also do chaos damage with our skills, and you can increase that with this belt. So this will ideally add more spirit, add more life, and add more damage for you as well as your minions. So check that out. We'll put this back in because this is showcased from the video, and I can explain the rest as well. Now, in regards to the boots, you do want to get these Bones of Ulla Lattice sandals for the reservation. For undead minions, if you do want to change any of the minions round, you can use other skills as well. So this is like a template, and of course build how you want to build, what you feel comfortable. But for me, I've tested quite a lot of different situations, and I think this is the most ideal build, and I think the synergy is just phenomenal, and I'll explain it all and how it all flows. But you can use these boots or any other boots to cover your resistances and anything else you might need. Anything is ideal for yourself, but I would recommend just these since they come with most of the stats we need. Movement speed is great, energy shield is great, more life is great, more mana is great, and same with the reservation of undead minion skill, or undead minions as well. So that's pretty much the gear covered. So I've showed you like the base gear, what you can use, and also how you can upgrade it. I've also shown you alternate gear which you can use for leveling and then change accordingly. You can ignore this because one thing that's cool about the build is there's no weapon swapping required. You don't need to weapon swap for any reason. However, if you did want to add a sigil, so you wanted a two-handed staff, you could add power of sigil, and you could increase your spell damage, and obviously it will proc your minions as well. However, a lot of my community members and a few new viewers that came through just said they wanted a build where it's just a relaxed build, so you don't have to weapon swap, you don't have to get any extra buffs, you can play, just chill out, blast, and just enjoy the game, and just, you know, play how you want to play. So I didn't include that, but if I do like an upgraded version, I can include that for you, and I can do a video guide, an updated version when I do like the full min max version of it as well, just because I'm having so much fun with it. But that is an option, so just ignore this. And also in the mobilytics, it's probably included in there, but just ignore this. This isn't required at all. But again, you can add whatever you want on top of it and kind of change it how you want to play it as well. Now in regards to flask, we could have gone for Oros flask, but again I wanted to keep it within the budget limit, and I literally picked this up in campaign, probably like the end game more like a T8 or something. I never changed it, and I've just kept it throughout the whole thing. Same with the flask, I've never had to go out and buy one. I've just picked this up, I like it, it does what I need to do. We have a lot of mana regen in the build, which again I'll explain why is good for the build, but even if you didn't have as much, you could just get a good flask and get that mana back up as well. In regards to charms, I think these are the ideal setups if you're running like Giorno and Super Juice maps, so you can kind of defend yourself from becoming frozen and dying. This one will give you energy shield on recharge. This one I used because for two reasons. If you are going to get the belt with armor on there, why not benefit from something with additional armor? So you could use this. However, this is an open slot, so you can use whatever charm you want. You could even use a rite of passage to increase the rarity again, and of course you can just put in whatever you think your build might need at the time and then just change it. And again, this is a blueprint of something that can help you blast and do all the content, hard carry, pinnacle bosses. I've done Sekimus trials, Sekimus carries, I've carried my community, I've done 4-man Orbiter carries with the build as well. And this is just a few days ago before I'd done a few more upgrades for it, and you can do it with the gear which I've mentioned here as well. And then this is the last one we've used as well. So I think that kind of covers the overall gear, and if there is any questions, just post in the comments below, or just join the live stream, I can help you there as well. And that covers that. So yeah, you can see all this, and again it's all in the mobilytics for you as well. One thing I will say, just for the last part of it, if you are going for min max and you have got currency, by all means just get any body armor with high amount of energy shield, and just go to the filter and type in plus 61 spirit. You can get slightly higher or variations to it if you got a lot more currency, but again just go plus 161 spirit. That is the sort of like peak where you want to be at, and then get as much energy shield as you can. And if you need more resistances, cover that with a 3 slot or potentially a 4 slot as well. Right, now what we're going to go over here is the skills themselves. Now I might need to probably move the camera because I don't want anything being blocked and you could see everything clearly. So I'll quickly go over these, and I'll go over what we've got while we've got it. You could probably also hear some procs going off in the background, which I'll explain with the tech is really cool too. So let's move this up and make sure this is available for you. So pow. Alright, so first and foremost, you don't have to use a rattling scepter, but ideally I would recommend it for a couple of reasons. If you do get the rattling scepter, you do get skeletal warrior minions, which are really cool for several reasons. Now, whereas I mentioned some of the procs are going off, we actually have unlimited bonuses to our build which proc off every time. If I've probably changed the minions, they should explode. Right, so some of the buffs you'll probably be hearing in the background in a second, I'll kick in, is proccing off the minions, and it's kind of gone off now. Okay, so basically with skeletal warriors, what we've done is we've added Amanamu's Tithe, which basically means our minions will constantly die and explode, and we'll keep getting buffs. I'm see if I can show. So you can see this one shooting like chaos bolts right now. This is pretty awesome. In the footage you may have seen an aura which is the size of a football field. It's probably a slight exaggeration, but nah, seriously, the aura is ridiculous, the other one we have. So that's the third buff. And then we also have like a homing in fireball. So throughout the footage you might see the green aura, this one going off, and the homing in firing orb. They all do damage and they all are pretty awesome, and we actually have unlimited auras as well. So just because of this tech, we have unlimited aura buffs. So it's kind of like having a headhunter without a headhunter basically, and it's unlimited. So what I've done is I've added Infernal Legion. So they're basic, as soon as they spawn, they take their own life, they die and do explosion damage. On top of all of that, when they die, they do this much damage when they're on life, 50% of their life. And Sacrificial Lamb, because we are using Pain Offering, which I can get into as well. So basically that means when we use Pain Offering, we want to sacrifice any minions to do even more damage, to increase attack and the cast speed. It will ideally target these, but because we got so much going on, it doesn't really matter. But this just has great synergy. So basically these come on the screen, as you can see. They'll disappear and explode after a few seconds. They will then give you the buffs for your proc, and we've got an aura, as you can see. And when we're into maps, the aura will just be constantly on 24/7. So that's pretty cool synergy right there. Now in regards to other items, I did try different skills. So one thing I did come up with is Bone Cage. If you are constantly getting pushed, or any sort of minions or anyone does get close to you, can actually add a lot more damage with this. So this isn't just for like flat damage overall. It doesn't look like it's high in the DPS. It's mainly just to add additional damage, because when we, in the passive tree, when we do damage, our minions do more damage, and the more skills you have available, the better. And then on top of that, we can cast it rapidly. We can also knock back enemies, so we can also cover our AoE. So if for any reason a monster or you running into Abyssal quickly does slightly get past, or even a boss gets slightly close to you, you can knock them back and you can get more AoE covered, more damage. You can also do poison damage to them. You can also do Bursting Plague, which is more ideal for AoE with Spell Cascade, and this then synergizes with our skeletal minions. So we've added skeletal sniper minions to do physical damage, bleed damage and poison on top of that, which they do rapid attacks, they do a pierce, minion mastery, and also the poison from here, and bleed, which also then synergizes with this. So poison from sport attacks also adds to 100% damage per second as plague, and we're already poisoning and bleeding the enemies on top. The reason why we've done that is sometimes you can run into the other quests where you can cause the Kurgles, where you can detonate stuff and cause enemies have immunity to chaos damage. So we don't just want one type of flat damage, and if there's any enemies that are immune to chaos damage, you don't want that one type of damage only. We got bleed, we got poison, we got chaos, we got flammability as well from the minions. So we got all types of damage in the build, so everything's covered. Now, whereas I mentioned the build is pretty cool in that regard, it's not just a case of minions are just doing our damage. Our Contagion also does a lot of damage as well. So while you're running through the map, while your minions are going crazy and killing other monsters and minions, you can also do your own damage and chaos. And this also scales with our spell damage, which is also included in the passive tree. So we're double dipping on the damage. So there's not really any downtime. You're always doing damage. And as you can see with the bosses, and I'll explain the rotation, you're always doing crazy damage included. So with the Contagion, we've used rapid casting, we've used prolonged duration, chaos mastery, zenith as well. And we've also added considered casting as well. So we just want to do as much like insta damage as we can. And that's why we instantly all the bosses, all the pinnacle bosses. And we're doing a lot of burst damage from like 3 to 8 million in a few seconds every single time. And then in that fully T16 juice map, I believe the boss had 11 million HP, and you saw how quickly he got melted too. So it's pretty awesome. Now, in regards to actual spectres, I will be doing follow-up guides to show how to capture spectres, different spectres. I've actually got like a few variants of this build which I've tried, and I've got a new build coming out probably within a week as well, which actually might be a lot stronger than this build. So stay tuned for that. But I am like experimenting, having a lot of fun with the game in general. But if you want me to cover how to actually capture spectres and other stuff, I'll start making shorter videos just for more tutorial content as well. But we are using powered zealots, which again I'll show you how to capture or get anyway. We are using a higher gem, as you can see. It's actually level 21 corrupt, and the quality is 23, which I would recommend so you can get more damage out of it. And again, if you want me to cover that for you, if you're not sure how to do that, I can do that for you. But you basically buy it from trade. I think it's like 17 divines or 18 divines right now. Prices might go up after this video. And then yeah, you can just use that and go from there, or you can pretty much craft it yourself, which I can also show you as well. Now, what we've gone for are a couple of cool things. Pierce, since all the actual sparks that come out, if you don't have Pierce, once they hit the enemy, they'll disappear. Now, we want it to do more damage, and ideally, it does a lot more damage overall with Pierce. So I've included Pierce 3 in there. Also the Wild Shard. So sported skills have a 25% chance to fire 8 additional projectiles in a circle. That's why you see all that crazy sparks going off and then more additional in the circle. We've also added Diala's Desire for a couple of reasons. We get another level to the skill itself, which adds way more damage. And we've also added the quality, which then increases the damage from here as well. So without it, we'll get a lot less damage. But with it, we get more damage and we get more quality of it as well. Or more level for more flat damage. Now, Muster is a really cool one for a couple of reasons. Supported minions deal 7% more damage for each different type of reviving minion you have. We have Skeletal Warriors, which also procs into off base, which is ideally why you want a Rattling Scepter. We also have Skeletal Sniper minions. We also have Skeletal Brute minions, and we also have Storm. So if you do include all of that in one go, you are basically having a lot more damage with that included. So without it, you will be losing that, but Muster is really good to have. What's up, Prismatic? I see you with the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm just in the middle of a YouTube video. And then finally, the Pain Offering, which I mentioned earlier. Basically, with this one, so we skewer a bone spike to a nearby minion. And what it does is basically from there, it adds cast speed and attack speed to our minions. And also our minions do increase damage. So whereas I mentioned we got that, I'll go through the rotation for like bossing, but you don't really need any of it. You could probably see an aura around them now, so they have been buffed since we've used that. And we'll go through this as well. So in regards to Pain Offering, what I've gone for is Dance Macabre, so it increases the buff effect. We've gone for Prolonged Duration, so the duration lasts longer. Sacrificial Offering have a 30% increased buff, and they have add more damage. And then, of course, we added Magnify Area. So if you want to be a bit more safer, you could proc it down here. It'd proc the 2 at the back, and then you could just move forward, and they'll still get their buffs as well. So that kind of works out. And again, you can actually get, like, obviously more points or more to the links. You could add a Perfect Jeweler's Orb and add more if you want to add more. But again, I wanted to just keep to the budget and just show you, like, you don't need to minimax everything to have a build that kind of does everything for you as well. Now, this is pretty cool. Again, reason why I've added certain types of minions is for specific reasons. I originally had like not really a minion to kind of cover me, since the Skeletal Warriors are going to be exploding, chasing things down, doing the buffs for you. We didn't really have any bodyguards per se, so I wanted to add 2 bodyguards. Now what I've added is 2 brute minions. One, they're super strong and super tanky, but we've added some extra tech for them as well. So we've added the sport minions to make them stronger overall. We've added Ignite. So the reason why we've added Ignite is we've added Infernal Legion. So minions take their own life a bit like the other Skeletal Warriors, and they do damage per second. If you add that with Ignite, we also do way more Ignite damage, number 1. But we've also added Tech Rod's Revenge. So what I've come up with, the idea is when my brute minions spawn in, so they may have died, let them spawn back in a second. There you go. They will instantly be on fire, and you can see the HP go down to 0. They will then now stay alive, and they will kick in, and they will also do this additional. So minions from supported skills gain 40% increased attack and cast speed when their life is reduced to 0. As soon as I spawn them, their life is reduced to 0. However, they won't die for an additional 20 seconds. So they'll stay alive for 20 seconds and they'll do crazy damage. And there's a couple of reasons, not just for the damage itself. They actually stun and break bosses and minions. So someone like Giorno on a super juice map, these minions also break them. So they actually get in a broken state where they're just selfless on the floor and they can't do anything. And it works on pinnacle bosses, Uber, Orbiter. If you're doing like a 4-man, 5-man carry, you'll not only be doing a lot of damage at insta damage, you'll also be doing that. Then you get them into a broken state, you can do more damage and be safe as well. So these are just like my bodyguards that do kind of chase, and they're quite hungry, so they will just chase enemies across the map. So even when you're mapping, you're not just waiting for your zealots to do damage. Your snipers are doing damage from range. They're doing poison and bleed. By the time you get to them, your zealots will kill them already. Also, your brutes are doing damage, and the skeletal minions are doing damage as well. So there's just several layers of damage, and there's a reason why I made this synergy to make it work. And I just feel with these brute minions, they are very like protective. If there is someone close to you, they will chase them down, kill anything that's close to you, and then you've got 3 layers of defense. So you got your range, you got your medium range, and you got your close range, and these kind of cover that for you as well. Now, the reason why I added Frostbomb, I did read this originally, so I added this in recently because I was reading just this information. So these are some of the tooltips I'd say. There's quite a lot of damage going on, but it does scale so much more, as you can see from the footage. So basically, launch a spray of sparkling projectiles that travel erratically along the ground until they hit an enemy or expire. Consumes a cold infusion if possible to fire many sparks in a circle. So what I've added is Frostbomb, and all we do is we walk into it, and then it adds cold infusion for 20 seconds, which is a lot of time, and then we do way more sparks and damage. So it says for it to be on the minion. I've tried it several times, but I do find that it does work, and we do get way more burst damage. But also on top of that, again, you can use it as like a sort of like defense skill, and there's quite a lot. So not only do we have like a lot of energy shield, 12,000, close to 2k base HP, like some damage reduction in there. We've also got like other skills which can like control the map. So we've got a lot of AoE control, and obviously we got map bosses deleted as well, so you kind of got everything covered that you might need. But that's what I kind of read and thought maybe add some more tech to it. So you don't have to have it, because a lot of the footage is done without it, but I've added it recently and I just find it really cool, and then I feel that it does more insta burst damage as well. So yeah, with the Frostbomb, we want it to have less effect duration, so it procs quicker. Detonation time, less detonation time. We don't really care about the damage or anything, it's just for what it needs to be done. And then the echo as well. And then also we have the AoE area effect, so we can proc it quicker as well. Now, one thing that we did actually add, I did originally have the other minion, the Frost Mages. And there's other cool tip you can do with your Frost Mage and your Brutes. You can throw the Frost Mage, who can do cause ice and ice armor to affect you and your minions, giving them more defense. And then you can then use your Brute minion to do a War Cry, which will be this. And then this will blow up the ice and the AoE as well, which is pretty cool. But to be honest, because all our minions are so giga tanky, even on Orbiter on his explosion, some of them survive the big explosion and the other stuff he does. They're just so tanky and they have so much HP. So I just thought there's no point adding that. Why not add more damage and more range? And what's really cool about the Skeletal Storm Mage minion is a couple of things. So we've added Last Gasp for survivability, we've added cast speed, and we've added extra damage, and then we've added concentrated area. So what you can do is proc your lightning bolts, which is this, and you can proc this and then proc into your minions to do even more damage. So every single button that you press synergizes with the build, so there isn't like a dead button. So even if you wanted to do quick combinations, you could do Frostbomb, Sacrifice, you can do Lightning, then you can break their armor. Actually, one thing I may have slightly missed is this. With this bleed. Oh, so I may have took it out actually, but yeah, it doesn't even matter. We still got bleed and poison anyway. I did actually have additional armor break, so if you know about the skeletal minions, or if you don't know and you're not sure, you just go over here and you can see different things they do. So things like gas clouds and stuff like that on command attacks too. So I may have just slightly gone over that, but yeah, either way we got everything covered. Alright, so back to what we was getting at. So the Frostbomb and Storm Mage. So yeah, another thing we've added, instead of the Frost Mage, we've added Storm Mage. Reason again is we do lightning. So this Storm Mage will shoot lightning bolts across the map, so it's more additional damage from long range. And then when you get close, if you need someone zapped, you just press this and it literally just zaps them, and it just does so much damage. And then it synergizes with the Zealots as well, which is pretty cool. And then finally, Despair. So with Despair itself, this increases curse magnitude. Now, whereas I mentioned we're using Contagion, this we've added efficiency, so you don't really use that much mana. We want to stay as high a mana as we can. Then we've got increased magnitude, which is great. Trigger Doom Blast, which is Impending Doom. Ritualistic Curse for the AoE, and Decaying Hex as well. Since we have quite a bit of intelligence, why not add that extra layer? We've got 180 int on the build so far, so we're good to go. Now, in regards to the skills themselves, before I go into the passives, just probably so it makes more sense now. In regards to rotation, all you do is proc on a boss. Despair, as you can see in the footage on the Super Juice T16 Abyssal map, all I did was 2 button setup. I just did a Despair. I then just went into Sacrifice my minions, and then I just press Contagion once, and that's it. And it just kills everything. Everything just dies, it's that quick. You don't need to like press multiple buttons. However, if you do want to, you can do way more damage that way. So you just do your Despair, you Sacrifice. You can do a Lightning Bolt if you want from your other minion. You can do Fire Arrows. You can also proc that to do more poison and bleed damage to get off, and then you could just rotate. But because the cooldowns are so low, you just have a button every single time. You always have something available to do damage, so you're never stuck or you feel that you're renderless. And obviously the minions have so much HP and damage that you kind of got everything covered for you as well. I'll just give like probably a little bit of info, I guess, just to show you how much life. So maximum life, it says here 18,000, and they do have life regen and damage reduction modifiers as well. But again, this is all including the mobilytics, and if you want to see more in depth, I can show you on the Twitch streams, which I stream on every single day. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the passives now. So as far as the passives go, a couple of cool things with the Lich. So while you are not low on mana, you and your allies in your presence have Unholy Might, and you lose 5% maximum mana per second. Whereas I mentioned the mana regen, because we have such high mana regen, we barely on low mana. And when I was first making the build, I did find that we were on low mana sometimes, so I tried to figure that out. And what I've done is I've added mana regen in here, I believe. So increase mana regen here, increase mana regen there as well. I may have got it somewhere else, maybe. If not, those are the main 2 sources. So try and get as much mana regen as you can, and you'll constantly have that buff topped up every time as well. We've also increased the maximum energy shield, and then what you can do is you can use a jewel. Best in slot, the best one you got, you want to use in here, because this basically doubles it. So you can socket a jewel into here, and then it gives you increased effectiveness. That's the base of it. So put your best jewel in here, and that'll give you buffs for anything. So we've got more energy shield, more maximum life on kill, we've got more minion damage, and any sort of damage you're taking is taken from mana before life. And because we've got so much mana regen, it's another damage reduction modifier for your build as well. So it kind of helps with the more tankiness. Then we got more life over here. This says damage taken, bypass your energy shield, no inherent mana regen, but we do have that covered. It also says regeneration mana equals 6% of maximum life per second. We've got more life, and then this is pretty godlike. So your life cannot be changed while you have energy shield. And because we got so much energy shield, we do kind of become immune to sort of like any chaos damage, poison, bleed procs, and anything like that as well. As long as we've got energy shield, and because we've got so much and we have high energy shield recharge, it kind of covers that for you as well. Right, I'm going to probably go over this as quick as I can, but again, this is all including the mobilytics, so if you want to just read that, you can. However, where I mentioned we're double dipping, we've gone for this, so we do more damage for minions, we do more spell damage, so our Contagion and the minions do more damage. Power of the Dead, great, more damage, and then we've gone up here for more damage, more spell damage. And then we've branched off over here to the right. So intelligence, energy shield, recharge rate. So not only do we have a lot of shield, energy shield, the recharge is good on it as well. And these give you additional bonuses and more intelligence, which can help out as well. And then we move down here for more energy shield and increased mana regen as well. Oh, that's probably where I may have missed it. So we got more mana regen. So as you can see, what I've picked is all synergizes with the build overall. And it kind of just works flawlessly, and it just runs really, really smooth. So again, more tankiness. You want your minions to be alive, so the more health you can get them, the better. Because obviously, if they do die, you're not stuck because of what I showed you and the reasons why. But you want to keep them alive to do more DPS and more survivability for you. Now, I just checked before the stream went up. You do want to get Grand Spectrum jewels, because these give you more spirit, so you can cap that. I bought these originally for 12 divines a few days ago. It looks like they've gone cheaper, but again, after this video, they might go up. So just be careful of buying these. If you do want to get them, you can. But I definitely recommend getting them to increase that spirit for your build. However, what I do recommend is, just like me, when I was first making the build, I didn't have the currency. So I just used all these, and I thought I'd just keep all this gear I'd keep on the screen just to show you what I use for like leveling, and even some of these for survivability, just to get your levels first, then you can add more points. So these you've probably seen, but yeah, just use any jewels you got basically. Anything for minion damage, attack speed, cast speed in replace of those, and yeah, you can just change those as you get more currency, or if you've already got currency, just buy 3 of these and you're pretty much chilling. Again, more intelligence up here, more damage, more flat damage, chaos resistance, more damage, more life here. Minions have increased maximum life, and minions regenerate 3% of maximum life. So I mentioned more survivability. We also have that in our Scepter as well, but if you don't have it, you could always add it from here. And a bit of chaos resistance is great too. This one's quite valid, so if you get a lot of energy shield in your helmet, you can get even more for survivability. And also this one as well, way more. And where it says 5% of damage taken, bypass an energy shield, we have procced into this, so that kind of nullifies that. So you get a massive increase without the sacrifice. So that's pretty good for the Lich. And one of the reasons why we went for Lich, because it was new to me and I just like to experiment and try new things out and have fun with the game and learn as I go. And it's really, really cool experience. So I'm probably going to do like an Abyssal Lich build next, or something cool in general, something fresh. And these are also great. I've tried it without one of these, but ideally definitely get 2 of these, because that attack and cast speed is so much more beneficial, more DPS as well. Then we branch down to here, so more attack and cast speed to back up what I was saying. Some elemental resistance for your minions. And then we move up here, more energy shield, and more energy shield here as well. And then I went down here to cause, whereas it mentioned presence for the unholy buffs, you want as much presence as you can get, and this increase it, plus the increased spirit is phenomenal. When you are first leveling, I guess a little tidbit, when you first like getting your points, you can kind of maybe skip some of these on the right. You ideally wanted to get up here, because you want to get to Lord of Horrors. This means you can get more energy reservation, more minions as well, and that will obviously give you more damage, more DPS, as well as this one. And then you can obviously level up quicker, get more points, and do more with the build as well. Then we branch down to here, which is pretty ideal for more minion damage as well as our damage. So again, as you can probably see, I'm scaling our damage as well as the minions damage, so we're always doing something more. And then for more survivability, you can go for Ancient Ages. So whereas I mentioned the body armor, the more higher energy shield we get from there, we can increase it. I think ideally on the min-max version, we could probably get close to 20k from what we've got. But again, I kept this under 150 divines on purpose. And then also points up here give you a lot more energy shield. Now, if you do think that you're already doing enough damage, I think the build has so much damage, it's ridiculous. So if I did want to be more tanky, I would add more tankiness, but I don't need to, as you can see from the footage. I'm just already streamlining everything. It's just pretty much breeze in the content. So why change it if it's working for me? But again, ideally just add more energy shield if you need it. If you feel like you got too much DPS. And ideally, if you don't feel you got enough shield, just add more shield, and then vice versa, just add more nodes for minion damage. I've left a few available. Now we've gone down here for more damage, and this is pretty cool. Originally I went for this for minions are gigantic. This means I get 20% more life, 20% more damage. However, we wasting so many points going up here, so I skipped that. I went straight over to here instead. We get 25% increased maximum life, which is beneficial to keep them alive, and we still get 10% more damage anyway. So we saved about 3 or 4 nodes not going into there. And then ideally, if you come up here again, more maximum shield. It does say slower start of energy shield recharge, but I already showed you we've got additional to cover that as well. And then you just stretch your point over here as well. And that's kind of the passive tree covered for you as well. So that pretty much covers over it. I've gone over rotation, but I'll bring the camera back. We'll go over everything just really quick, just to like recap everything in general. But again, all of this is included in the mobilytics, so you have everything covered for you. And if you do need any more help, I'm live on stream every single day, experimenting, just having fun. So we've gone over the gear, we've gone over the skill, we've gone over the passives. Rotation I've already gone through with you. So quickly, you drop your curse, you bring your sacrifice up, and then that's it. Press whatever button you want, but ideally I'll just use contagion. One thing I may have slightly gone over, or I may have changed it. There was a note in here somewhere. Yeah, so this was it. This is what I wanted to make sure I was covered. Emboldening lead. Minions deal 30% increased damage if you've hit recently. Now, with that setup, like I was saying to you, when you do despair, whether that classes as a hit or not, and whether contagion classes a hit or not, we've added bone cage. This definitely classes as a hit. So when I mention the rotation, when you're doing despair first, and then you're doing contagion, you also do bone cage. That classes as a hit, and your minions do more damage. So I think that was the kind of thing I may have just missed over it quickly. But yeah, that's the reason why I mentioned the synergy. So as soon as you proc with that, your minions will do 30%, 3-0, which is a lot more damage as well. And again, change the nodes accordingly, how you want to play, and just have fun, and just tweak it. So I've left it available, so there's more stuff you can add. But I will be doing a more min-maxed version of the build as well. Alright, so that kind of covers everything for you. And again, I've gone over the probably end game version of the build. So ideally, I'm probably going to increase the body armor. Ideally, I'm probably going to increase most of these items, get more min-maxed. And I have got a little bit of currency spare in general. I'd use this for mainly just blasting, doing pinnacle bosses with my community, having fun and just doing carries. So I'm always on stream every day with it. But yeah, I'll probably min-max it a little bit more, and I'll probably do like a more upgraded version in the future if you want me to do that. But that is my Lich Erasion Zealots build. So hope you enjoyed the content. I believe that is everything covered. If there is anything I've missed whatsoever, let me know. Post in the comments below. But apart from that, wherever you are, have a good morning, have a good night, have a good evening. I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy and peace out.